What if I told you that one of the most powerful goddesses in Norse mythology, ruler of the land of the dead, was not a villain, but a misunderstood soul? That beneath her chilling presence and half-dead face lived a woman shaped by abandonment, duty, and a love she could never truly hold? This is not just a tale of death and shadows. This is the story of Hel, daughter of the infamous trickster Loki and the giantess Angrboda. Cast away by the gods, she built her own kingdom in the cold embrace of the Underworld. But few know that in the silence of her realm, there lived a spark of passion, a longing for something more than just power over the dead.
Curious about mythology? The gods have spoken. You must follow Elysium mythology to uncover its mysteries. Don't miss a single episode.
In every mythology, there is a god or goddess who exists in the margins, a being misunderstood by their peers and misrepresented by history. In Norse mythology, that being is Hel. She is the daughter everyone feared, the ruler everyone ignored, the woman who loved in silence. Hel's story begins not in the darkness of her realm, but in the chaotic fringes of existence. Jotunheim, the land of giants. Her mother, Angrboda, was a feared giantess, and her father Loki, the shape-shifting god of mischief. Together they produced 3 children, the wolf Fenrir, the serpent Jormungandr, and Hel, the child who would rule over death itself. From birth, Hel was different. She was said to be half alive, half dead, one side of her body vibrant, the other cold and corpse-like. Her very form was a symbol of balance, of the line between light and shadow. But the gods did not see beauty in her duality. They saw danger. As a child, Hel lived among the giants. She did not know fear, only solitude. Her mother tried to protect her, but word of her existence spread quickly. Whispers reached Asgard, and Odin himself came to see the girl who wore death on her skin. He saw a threat. To prevent the prophecy of Ragnarok, Odin cast her out, downward, into the mists of Niflheim. It was not a place. It was a punishment. Cold, gray, endless. And in that forsaken place, Hel became a queen. Helheim did not exist until she arrived. She shaped it from the silence, carved her hall from glaciers, and named her throne Eljudnir. She filled her kingdom with structure, not torment. She became a guardian to those who had none. She wore her duality with pride, though it pained her. Her reflection, half fair, half rotten, was a constant reminder of her fate. Mortals feared her, gods dismissed her, but she never flinched. She learned to speak with the dead. She listened to their regrets, their unfinished songs, their fading memories. And over time, she realized her role was not to punish, but to preserve. Though the halls of Helheim were cold, there was a quiet beauty in them. Ice chandeliers hung from ceilings. The river Gjöll flowed with shimmering sorrow. Statues of those long forgotten lined her pathways, memorials of lives that mattered once, but she was always alone. Hel's sense of justice grew with each passing century. She watched as warriors who died in battle were celebrated in Valhalla, while those who succumbed to disease, grief, or old age were discarded to her realm, as if they mattered less. This imbalance burned within her, not from jealousy, but from sorrow. One winter, a soul arrived, an elderly woman named Astrid who had died quietly in her sleep. She clutched a withered rose in her hand, meant for a husband lost decades earlier. Hel sat with her for hours, listening to her memories, the laughter shared, the children raised. No one sang songs for Astrid. No poems were written. But in Hel's eyes, her life was beautiful. From that day on, Hel began recording the stories of the dead, carving their names and dreams into the stone walls of her palace. She became the keeper of unspoken histories. Her halls became not just cold, they became sacred. And yet she remained isolated. The living feared her, and the dead could never stay. The weight of eternity pressed down on her shoulders like frost. There's an old tale, almost erased from the sagas, about a mortal who stumbled into Helheim. A warrior, not one who died gloriously in battle, but one who fell defending his village from raiders. His name has been lost to time, but some call him Eric. He arrived confused, disoriented, but unafraid. Most souls cowered. He walked forward. He met Hel not as a subject, but as an equal. He asked her name, not to fear it, but to honor it. In time, he became her companion. They debated philosophy, the meaning of fate, the cruelty of the gods. She found his laughter strange but comforting, and for the first time in centuries, she felt warmth in her chest. It was not the explosive passion sung of in mortal ballads. It was something quieter, more enduring, a presence that filled the silence. He was not just a soul, he was a mirror, showing her what she had lost. Hel and Eric grew close over time, bound by silence more than words. In one remembered moment, he asked her what it was like, being worshipped yet unloved. She hesitated, then replied, "To be feared is not the same as to be seen." Eric, perhaps for the first time, truly looked at her, not just at her withered side or her regal posture, but at her sorrow. He took her hand, and she did not pull away. Their bond was not physical, it transcended form. He once dreamed of giving her a flower. The next morning, one bloomed in the icy corridor, impossible and glowing. She smiled at it for days. Hel began to dream. She imagined a world where gods embraced difference, a world where she could walk among mortals without being a ghost, a world where she was loved. Hel knew it could not last. The laws of death are older than even Odin. No soul may linger forever. No ruler may break the balance, but she did. For a while. For Eric, she reshaped parts of Helheim, gave him form, gave him voice. A chamber where memories bloomed like frost flowers. He would tell her stories of spring, of bird song, of things she had never known. And then the gods took notice. Odin sent ravens, then messengers. He warned her, return to the cold, or suffer consequences. Her love was weakness, he said. Hel stood her ground, but Eric, seeing her torn, made the choice for them both. He asked to pass on. Their final moment was wordless. He touched her hand, one warm, one cold, and faded. A ripple through the mist. She never spoke of him again. But a snowstorm raged for 9 days across the north. Mortals spoke of a sorrow in the wind, a name whispered through pine and ice. They did not know whose grief it was, but they felt it. Hel returned to her solitude, but in private she began crafting a statue. A man, mid-laugh, carved from froststone and obsidian. She placed it in the deepest vault of Helheim, surrounded by eternal lanterns. Only she walks there. When Ragnarok begins, it is not Hel who seeks war, but the world that calls her. She sends forth Naglfar, the ship of nails, carrying legions of forgotten souls, not to destroy, but to remind the living of the cost of arrogance. She stands at the edge of the battlefield, silent, unmoving. When Odin falls, when the gods crumble, she does not cheer. She closes her eyes, and then she walks away. Some say she survives Ragnarok, that she wanders the reborn world, unseen, remembering everything. Others say she rests beneath the roots of Yggdrasil, still guarding the quiet dead. Hell's legacy survives not in temples or altars, but in quiet places. The hospital room, where a nurse holds a dying hand. The moment a loved one is remembered in silence. The grave, visited year after year. She is the stillness after the storm, the last page of a book, the closing of eyes before sleep. In modern times, she has become a symbol of self-acceptance. Her half-dead appearance resonates with those who feel divided, judged, or outcast. Artists paint her with fire in one eye and shadow in the other. Writers reimagine her as a protector, not a punisher. In every retelling, one truth remains. Hell was never evil. She was honest, and she ruled not with wrath, but with remembrance.
If this video sparked your curiosity, drop a like, or better yet, a super like, and show the gods you want more epic mythology.
What if Hel had been born among the Aesir? Would she have been praised for her strength, her wisdom? Would Odin have taught her runes? Would Frigg have called her daughter? Or was her fate sealed from the beginning, not because of who she was, but because of who her parents were? This is the tragedy and power of Hel. She teaches us that destiny can be shaped by perception, that rejection creates resilience, that even a goddess of death can long for love, and that sometimes the most forgotten goddesses are the ones who understand humanity the most. Ask yourself this: if Hel had been beautiful on both sides, would the gods have feared her? If she had ruled over warriors instead of the quiet dead, would history have praised her? And if she had not loved, would we even remember her at all? What makes a story worth telling? Is it the glory or the grief? Perhaps the gods feared Hel not because she was different, but because she held a mirror to them. She reminded them that their power was temporary, that even gods must face the end. And maybe that is her gift to us, the courage to embrace what we cannot control, the grace to love even in the shadows, and the wisdom to find beauty in what others abandon. Because in the end, Hel was never the monster. She was the truth, and the truth, like death, comes for us all.
Thanks for watching until the end. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like, share with fellow mythology fans, and follow Elysium Mythology for more epic stories.